Hey YouTube, how you doing? It is a late night video blog. It is just about to turn January 21st. I wanted to take a few minutes before I start my first day of college classes for a new semester to thank all of you guys who have been watching the videos and subscribing to the channel. Um, I'm blown away by the fact that I have 40 plus subscribers at this point. The channel's only been going for a couple of weeks. Um, People know who I am from Twitter, but I don't have a really wide reach. So the fact that word has gotten out and people have been watching and subscribing and have had some really nice things to say in the comments has been a real shot in the arm. The Retro Unscripted project was something that I came up with completely off the top of my head. I had been trying to think of something that I could do that would stand out as far as making YouTube videos. After all, the market is pretty packed and there are a lot of talented video content creators out there. So when I decided that I was going to do something video, I figured that the best way to do it, because I don't have any video capture equipment and I certainly don't know my way around any video editing software, would be to basically just shoot videos just like this with some some pictures in the background. You can see my Nintendo poster, and I almost always have a video game running of some sort. Usually, it's in relation to whatever topic I'm covering at the time. But I'm not able to record any game capture. I certainly don't want to step on any toes with any kind of copyright or content ID. And I'm certainly not in this for any kind of money. This is all a fun project for me. So I figured, after talking about it and thinking about it, some friends and colleagues basically said, well, why not just do it? And for the first time, I actually followed through rather than just kind of talking about it and then coming up with reasons why I shouldn't do it. So here I sit in front of you with 40 plus subscribers and over 200 views. And again, it's only 2 weeks in. I only have 5 videos. This will be the sixth, and it really doesn't count as an episode. It's more video logs. So I really, from the bottom of my heart, I appreciate the views, the comments, the compliments, and the subscriptions. It certainly means a lot to me. I am not setting out to be the next anything. There are so many great YouTube personalities out there. I certainly wouldn't want to try and take anyone's place. All I want to do is just kind of get my thoughts out there and leave my own little footprint on the surface of the internet, as it were. And this, I thought, was the best way to do it. So thank you. That's the first thing. The second thing is, as far as updates go, there will be at least one this week. Again, I start classes in the morning on Tuesday morning. I go to school 2 days a week. I go to school on Tuesday and Thursday, and I'm at school pretty much all day. Even though I'm taking only 3 classes, the classes go an hour and a quarter each. And then I'm taking alternate transportation home, so I don't have to drive to school and have to try and find a parking place. So Tuesdays and Thursdays are pretty busy. Plus, of course, I'm going to have homework all semester. So I'm hoping to do at least one update a week, maybe two, depending on what my energy level is. And I'm going to try and keep the Retro Unscripted blog updated when I can't shoot. I'm going to have some downtime on campus when I arrive. I get a ride to campus on Tuesday, Thursday morning. I have about an hour before classes when I arrive. So I may put together an entry or two while I'm there, just to cover random topics, perhaps cover some iOS apps for collecting or some other things. But I really want Retro Unscripted to be a multimedia project. As much as I like sitting in front of the camera and I'm continuing to get better at it, I think, I also want to do some writing and keep up with that. After all, that's really how I got my start in this business, as it were, when I started writing for About.com back in 2001, and I slowly but surely gained experience. This is kind of a new step forward for me. This is something completely different, sitting in front of the camera. So I figure if I can do one, I can do the other, and it will give those of you who like the stuff that I do more stuff to take in, more content to digest, as it were. So this week is going to be at least one more update. I have one more episode to shoot finishing up my Midway Sports series. Those of you who aren't a big fan of arcade sports games, I'm sorry. Those are some of my favorites, and I wanted to start off with one, and then I figured I would do another one because I didn't get to all of them. And I think a trilogy is pretty much going to do it. There are some that I'm not going to cover, such as NBA Hoops, but there's a reason for that, and it's because the game sucks and you really don't need to hear about it, at least from my perspective. There are other games that I'll be covering. I don't want to give anything away, but I will wrap up the Midway Sports Arcade Sports series with the next installment. And from there, I don't know where I'm going to go. I haven't given any thought to that. When I put these videos together on days that I know that I want to shoot, I kind of sit literally in this chair and I think about what it is that I want to talk about. Then I pull a game or games out, or in a situation where it's not necessarily game related, I figure out what I'm going to put in the GXTV, and then I pretty much go for anywhere between 8 to 12 minutes. And that's pretty much it. So there'll be at least one update this week, hopefully two, depending on what my schedule looks like, what homework looks like, and what my energy looks like. I'm going from being a night owl to having to get up early in the morning, so it's going to be a little bit of a process for me to make that adjustment. I'm sure you guys can understand, those of you who are in school, or those of you who may have been out of work for a while and then back at work, having to readjust your sleep schedule and your life schedule, how you spend your free time. All that stuff is going to be changing. So I appreciate your patience in advance. I wanted to try and get some stuff up this weekend, but I had to finish some preparation for school, so I hope that you'll bear with me. Some links to pass along, and you guys will see them in the About section below. If you're not following Retro Unscripted on Twitter, I invite you guys to do so. Retro Unscripted is run by me. Nobody else has keys to that account, and it is all retro gaming based. There's nothing modern about it. I will retweet modern gaming related stuff every once in a while, but it is very much about the stuff that I cover. And I do a lot of retweeting there from YouTube personalities and other personalities within the retro community. So it's kind of a one-stop source for everything retro. And the best thing about that Twitter account is stuff that I'm thinking about, topics that I'm thinking about that I can't necessarily sit and shoot and talk about for 8 to 12 minutes. I can actually start conversations with you guys and talk to you back and forth, even if it is in 140 character bursts. So I hope that you'll follow along in the Twitter account if you haven't already. It's at, the little at sign, Retro Unscripted, all one word, and I hope that you'll follow me there. There's also a Facebook page. If you guys are into Facebook, it would be cool if you like that. It's certainly not a requirement, but it's facebook.com/Retro Unscripted. Right now, it's pretty much a mirror for Twitter, but as the Facebook community grows, if it does grow, I'll try and do more conversation and topic posting there as well. And I might even take Twitter off there altogether if we decide to grow that as a community, if that's where you guys want to kind of hang out. So Facebook is another option. You'll also see a link below for the Google Plus page. I know that probably 95% of YouTube hates Google Plus. I do use it on occasion. And you can feel free to +1 me there. I leave a lot of comments on other videos, and you can kind of find them under that. One video in particular that I saw recently is from the GameSack team. GameSack does a lot of great stuff, and their content has been getting better and better. And they just did a piece on the X68000 personal computer from Sharp over in Japan. That's where it comes from. I didn't know a lot of the games on that device. I only knew about the Castlevania remake. But the versions of Gradius that were available for it are awesome. There's a game from Exact who made Jumping Flash. There's a game that looks almost exactly like Jumping Flash, but on older and weaker hardware. So I thought that was kind of neat, and a bunch of other stuff too. If you guys aren't subscribed to GameSack, I do recommend them. They do great stuff, believe me. I've been following them for a little bit now, and then when they got involved with RetroWare.com or RetroWareTV.com, I got into them even more. So GameSack's great. Gaming Historian's been putting out more stuff of late. He just put up an NES Remix review. That's why this is unscripted. I'm going to make a couple of mistakes here and there. But check out Norm's stuff. He's great. There's another link for Cygnus Destroyer, who's the LJN Defender. Introduced me to the Punisher for the NES. I had never played it. I'd seen it around at video game stores before, but never pulled the trigger. I didn't realize it was a game that was very similar to Cabal, so now it's on my want list, and I wouldn't have known that if it wasn't for him. I'll link his channel as well in the comments below, and that's just a sampling of the accounts that I follow and the channels that I follow. Retro Liberty does great stuff. Cinemassacre, of course. James Rolfe and Mike Matei do fantastic stuff. They just did a let's play, a very brief let's play of Rocky for the PlayStation 2, which is absolutely hilarious. So those are just a sampling of some YouTube channels that I follow that I like very much. I'll try when I do my blogs or my video logs here to pass along some links to you of channels if you're not subscribed to already that you might want to think about subscribing to, because they do great stuff. Anyway, I'm at the 11-minute mark, and I need to save my voice for classes tomorrow. This semester, I'm not taking any classes in relation to my major, which is kind of unfortunate. I'm taking statistics, so obviously I like numbers, or at least I hope I do. I'm taking fundamentals of acting, which should be fun. Hopefully it'll help my on-screen presence when I do my YouTube videos. And then English composition, which I hope that I'll do well in. After all, I've been writing for over 10 years, so if I don't understand the basics of writing, then there's going to be a problem. But we'll see how that goes. So those are my classes. And that's it. If you guys have comments, questions, things that you want me to talk about or cover, please feel free to leave them in the comments below. You can drop me an email at retrounscripted@gmail.com, and I'll get back to you. Visit the new blog, which is retrounscripted.wordpress.com, and that's because I can't yet afford a domain. I'm hoping to move that to a domain when I get some tax money back a little bit later this year. I'm not working while I'm in school, by the way, so that's why new games and new editions are going to be a little bit slow for a bit. So you got the blog, you got Twitter, you got Facebook, you got Google+, you have YouTube. If you follow me any or all of those places, I really do appreciate that. I hope that you will. Have a great rest of your week, everybody, and I will see you on the next official installment, episode 6 of Retro Unscripted. Take care.